Hello, I'm here to hopefully help you solve an issue with ice building up in the bottom of your Samsung side-by-side freezer compartment. I was having an issue where ice was building up down here in the floor, and it was coming from here. And then when it would go into defrost mode, some of the ice would melt and it would leak out in this corner right here and end up on my floor, and it almost ruined my hardwood floors. So what you're going to have to do is take everything out of your freezer. I do recommend possibly unplugging it just to be safe. Take everything out up to the ice shelf or ice maker compartment. Now this back panel here is what has to come out. There are 6 screws. There's 1, 2 at the bottom, 2 in the middle, and then 2 at the top that are covered up by these little plastic tabs. You just pop those out and the screws are right behind there. And then you just pry it off. You may have to use a screwdriver or a flat edge tool to pry that off, but it comes off pretty easily. So this is what's behind there. What was happening is the water, when it goes into defrost mode, drains down to this tray right here. And then it's supposed to go out of that drain hole right there. But my drain hole became clogged and the ice just, or the water wouldn't drain out, and it just turned into ice first starting right there. And then when it goes into defrost mode, it would leak out this corner and drip down into the floor of the freezer. And I don't know how long I went before I noticed it, but there was a couple inches of ice down here when I finally discovered it. Anyway, I chiseled out all the ice using a screwdriver, and you may have to chisel out a little bit up here too to get all the ice out. Then I took a hair dryer and melted the rest of it, dried it off real good with a sponge, and then I started pouring warm or hot water down that drain hole right there, just to make sure that that drain wasn't frozen on the inside. It probably was, and that was preventing the water from going through and exiting the freezer compartment. The last cup or 2 of hot water I put in the microwave to make it really hot so it would melt whatever ice was left over in that drain. Now I can pour water in that tray and it drains right out that hole. Then another thing you might want to check on the back of your refrigerator, freezer, there's a few screws. You don't have to take all of them out, but you'll see them holding this panel on. And inside here is the hose that comes from the top. It's right there, and then a black hose down here. It goes to the evaporator coils that dries up the water. And this comes off real easily. You just pull that off, and you see this is the part that was up into the refrigerator, and then the black hose attaches to this end. You see there's 2 small openings in that nipple on this fitting, and those will become clogged as well and prevent the water from draining out. So just take this, get you a little brush or something and clean that out real good and put it all back together. Here's the black hose. It's really flexible, and it goes into that section right there. It fits onto there, and then the hose goes onto that, and then this back up into the refrigerator or the freezer area. I'm trying to point to it here. Hooks on right there, the top part of that white nipple. Then once you have all that cleaned out, you might want to vacuum these coils and make sure they're not covered in dust. That could cause a fire. And while you got it open, you might want to just wipe out all the dust. You see I've got some here on these hoses. Just give it a good general cleaning before you put it all back together. Anyway, I hope this helps you.